Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Playoff Profiles Semifinals. Again, your favorite person to see Big Black Rainbows. Tonight, or now this morning rather, I am joined with Theatious, the current jungler for Average on a Good Day, and the infamous Banana Slug. How are you guys doing this evening slash morning, whatever you want to call it?
I'm doing all right. Just
Yeah,
another
doing
day.
pretty
Got
well.
just got done scrimming, getting ready for PSA.
hmm
Nice, nice. First off, obviously, congratulations on making playoffs. You guys definitely surprised a lot of people. That's for sure. In terms of how well you guys play together, how strong your individual players are. Especially you, Theatious, with being a coach last season and not really showing your prowess, and then this season coming out there and stomping people right out the gate definitely opened up a lot of eyes. That's for sure. And not only that, you guys finished second, which is probably the biggest surprise considering the amount of names or recurring names, I should say, that we have in IBSG. So overall, congratulations with that. Um, First things first, with semifinals now upon us, hopefully you guys got to see a little bit of the quarterfinals game. Um, what's your opinions on that? Do you have anything you want to point out, or maybe that you saw that others may not have seen?
Um, so I don't know what who is doing the draft for EH in that second game, but I really just didn't. I wasn't feeling it. I just gonna quickly remind myself of the draft order. 1 second. Um, yeah, game two. Yeah. So, well, not. I guess okay. So let me rephrase that. Not really the draft order, because the draft looks okay. I remember what the draft was, but it was the Camille side lane that we just didn't put any pressure on. We didn't. I didn't see Warden really trying to put a lot of attention toward the Camille, and if Camille can't match in a side lane, she's kind of useless, right? So that's my takeaway from that game too. And game one, the Genesis, the Seraphine's Raka into Misfortune Leona. Oh, that's got to be rough. I don't know how that was came about being picked, but man. But I mean, I think I predicted EH 2-1, and that's what happened. So yeah.
What about you, Banana? I know previously maybe you got a couple glimpses here and there, but do you have any major takeaways or anything?
Nothing significant. Um, I was impressed by as was everyone else, I imagine, the Leona steal in game two. Uh, that was something else. Never saw coming. It was that one in a million play uh, that you rarely ever get to see, and that was really enjoyable. But as for the rest of the series, you know, it might have been a bit closer than I anticipated, but it was definitely a good series from both teams.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely a good series and probably, as you said, a lot closer than what people expected it to be. Um, so let's go all the way before the beginning of the season. And correct me if I'm wrong, Theatious, but you guys have been together as five for the entire season, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No subs, no roster changes.
must be nice. um, but yeah, let's go all the way back to before the season started. Obviously, I know you from last season, but
Yep.
how did you go about finding these players and especially the consistent players that don't miss games?
So I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time, and so I got into the coaching role with you guys last season, and I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I had a change in my job, so I couldn't continue with you guys to the end of the season. And then I was like, my time freed up because I got used to my job and stuff like that. And so I was like, hey, let's just fucking put a team together and play in a league with my best friend who is our top laner, 3x plus one. And so a mutual friend of Bananas and mine, Kite, he knew them, and then I asked them, I was like, hey, y'all wanna play? And they were like, yeah. And so, I mean, fuck, we just started scrimming out of nowhere. We probably scrimmed for what would we say, Justin?
month
3
and a half.
months.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I was thinking 2 months. I
yeah.
could be
So
wrong though. It was a while. It was
it
rough
was
at first for sure.
it was. It was. I by the way, I've never been a jungler. I've never main jungle ever until this. So I'm an ADC player. So next season I think we're gonna swap up some roles, but we're gonna stick with what we got for now.
All right. Well, it's always always nice to hear a fellow ADC main. So Banana, specifically for you, um, how is it playing with these guys? Obviously, I know Theatious, he's a great, wonderful person. I still call him dad every once in a while, right? But for you as maybe a mutual friend with someone, how is it playing with the rest of the group of people?
Oh, I love it. I've always wanted to do something like this. And from the very beginning, we established some like expectations for the team. Like, we're not going to talk about negative things going on in the game until after the game. We're going to be supportive of each other. We're not going to be toxic towards each other. Um, and we pretty much stuck to it. And we had some hiccups here and there, like you naturally would with the team, but we always managed to work them out. And Terry has continued to be a great facilitator uh, with our team, and really managing any sort of conflicts that arise, and helping us kind of refocus and stay focused on what our objective is and what our goal is. And it's been a blast. It's just a wonderful team to play with. We really focus on playing as a team, and I think I heard in one of the other interviews where they were talking about how any one person on this team can kind of
Yep.
go crazy with the game. And I love it. It's really nice to not know, or to not have like, okay, we got to focus on this one person, make sure they get ahead, or these two people or whatever. I know that my team's got my back. And it's just, yeah, it's been really, really great.
Even though you're most of the time the person that gets ahead, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Don't worry. Um, But you mentioned expectations, Banana. So for both of you, when this season first started, right? Was the expectation? I mean, obviously the expectation is have fun, play with friends. But was it, at the minimum playoffs, or are you guys always shooting to be that first place?
You can go ahead.
We were shooting to be first place
Yeah,
from day one.
So our I guess our like motto is we all want to have fun, but winning is fun. So
yep, there it is.
we like to win.
So
Absolutely.
we've always done whatever we could to make sure people have fun, but have fun in a way that'll let us win. So figuring out how we can play around people's comfort picks, figure out what people don't want to play against, all of that has really helped us strengthen as a team.
And it definitely shows, because like you guys mentioned in the other interview, any one of your members can has and will execute properly, successfully, you want to whatever you want to call it, with a goal lead or any advantage in general, and it's proven time and time again with how well uh, you guys grab leads and kind of stick with them, and how well you guys coordinate with each other around the map to cleanly close out games, which is something not many teams in IBSG can do as frequently as you guys have. That's for sure. Um, so outside of, well, obviously league is a big portion of your guys' life because you play in duo, right? But outside of league, the issues, I know you've got your job and whatnot, but do you guys play anything else besides league, or are you in any other competitive scenes besides duo?
I am not. No, Duo
Yeah,
is the
no.
yeah.
We
I'm
played a league prior to this, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Style
I can't
esports.
style esports. Yeah,
Ah,
so
okay.
we played style, but we didn't like the format at all. So we decided to quit mid season just to come play in duo. I don't know. We don't really play competitively outside of this, but I think one of the big strengths of our team is we're always playing together. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have a group of like 10 to 15 people that are consistently when they're on playing, they're in the Discord. And so I think that helps us a lot to like, bond, and it brought us a lot closer because me and Banana here, we haven't probably like officially like been friends probably like 7, 8 months maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but we
Mm-hmm.
were introduced a long time ago. I mean, we've gotten so close to that, which if we make it to the finals, everybody will find out. But he's gonna be a groomsman in my wedding on the 23rd.
Yeah, I'm
So
still
super
waiting for my
excited.
invite, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Um, anyways, Phil, now that you mentioned that, obviously congratulations on the wedding. I know
Thanks.
there was some talks about maybe the whole team missing the finals because of that, but that's a well-deserved kind of vacation, so to speak.
Yeah,
Um,
that will happen, by the way.
yeah, the wedding isn't determining on league. It's the other way around. So yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
no, like they're coming to Alabama, so we will not be there for that weekend if we make the finals. So unfortunately, we'll have to reschedule, and if not, we'll just forfeit.
Yeah. So obviously it's playoffs, and what's an interview without playoff questions, right? So first thing I want to get to is your opinion on a play-in week like what EH and Genesis had versus a bye week like you guys had. Do you think one's better than the other?
Yeah, for sure. I think the play-in week is better because it keeps you on your toes, right? So especially if the team that you're gonna play is super competitive with you. Obviously, you want to take everybody serious, but uh, keeping that like every week having a game, coming back having a game, unless you have, but I don't know. It's super hard. I'm gonna say play-ins, but having an extra week to prepare for a really good team is always great.
Very true. What's your take, Banana? What do you think?
Um, Personally, I don't have a opinion on either. It can, yeah, either way is good for me. It doesn't, I just don't have an opinion on it.
Okay. The reason I asked that is you and Pawn Sacrifice Arcanines both had a bye and had hopefully ample time to prepare for one another with your upcoming game, whenever it is. Um, what do you guys think going into the matchup? Obviously, without giving away any strats or ideas or whatnot, but what do you think of their team as a whole? Do you think it's going to be a close series, or with your guys' confidence of the regular season, is that going to be carrying over to the postseason?
We treat every team as a, let's say, a serious threat, like serious competition. Doesn't matter who they are. We go into every game with the same mindset. So, that's how we're gonna go into this game. We don't, at least I don't generally overthink who I'm playing against, or you know who their strong players are, who their weak players are. We do our draft, and once we get into the game, we play our draft against theirs, and we try and play ours as effectively as we can.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think a great example, which it wasn't streamed or anything, but we played against Buzz, and I think that we were up 30 kills to like 3, and we still took every tower from them. We still pressured all 3 lanes when we could have ended the game if we just all went to one, right? Because we want to show them the same respect that we would show TA or EH or Genesis, right? We don't want to disrespect them by just running them over, by taking the risky plays that normally we wouldn't take. So I think that that's a great explanation for how we are when we come to other teams.
Okay. All right. So, outside of yourselves, you have EH, Team Ambition, um, and obviously Pawn Sacrifice, right? Which of those three teams do you guys? I know you said you treat every team equally, but is there a certain team that you guys uh, fear or maybe need to plan more around going forward? Do you think?
Uh, I don't think, like you said, I don't think fear is the right word. Uh, Now, if you're asking me who I want to play, who would I like to play in the finals? I'd
Okay.
like to play EH, right? We got a lot of respect for them. Uh, they're a group of people who I think they treat the game the same way we do, and they treat other teams the same way we do. Even though me and Lon had a little disagreement one time, but in the past, right? So I would like to play EH just for I want the previous champions to come back into the finals, and then I want obviously new champions to be crowned. But TA, I don't feel like they're as threatening as EH because I feel like if I just camp Okina, it's over.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Banana? Do you kind of yeah? Let's change the question a little bit, Banana. Who would you rather face in finals if you had to choose, or wanted to choose rather?
Probably TAW if I to choose between the two of them. Um, they had a solid season, and I like playing against good players. And not to say that the other team doesn't have good players, but I like playing against, the biggest challenge that we can get. And I think that's where we get it.
Okay. Well, speaking about challenge for you specifically, depending on who you ask and what day, a lot of people have you as either the best mid laner for IBSG or at least the top two, with that being Lone Win. But depending on who you face, whether it be Event Horizon or TA, you're going to be matched against Lone Win or Titan Duff. In your personal opinion, do you think you're the best mid laner in IBSG this season?
Um, I think I can be. I think
Okay.
sometimes I am, just based off of how I've played so far this season. Other players have definitely taken kills off of me and have outplayed me in lane. Um, but overall, I would agree that I'm top one or top two. And when comparing Lone to oh, I just lost his name,
Titan
Titan
Duff.
Duff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, comparing Lone to Titan Duff. I like playing against Lone a little bit more because he'll fight me. He'll fight me in lane, and that's fun, and I appreciate that. Um, Titan Duff doesn't always fight me, and sometimes that's the smart play, and it's annoying, but I respect it as well.
Okay. And Theatious, I saw you kind of smirking a little bit when I answered the question, or asked the question rather.
Yeah,
Um, and
I
I
had a
had a
flashback.
flashback.
Yeah, so Titan wouldn't fight him when he played Vex in our last game versus TA, and he screamed into the mic, "He won't fucking fight me."
But
Yeah,
with talking with you and seeing what you say a couple times, is your opinion of Banana still the same as being the best mid laner so far?
yeah. So I get a small sample size from everyone else, and I only see them versus him. But I think it's the fact that how often I hit tab in a game. I don't know that after first wave that he's ever down to CS. I mean, even if he isn't solo killing them or popping off like crazy, he's always above them in terms of wave control and CS. Right, this guy is a monster at controlling waves. A monster. Like, it's a little unreal. So,
He's
especially
too
for a gold
kind.
player, right? And so I mean, his lane's easy for me to gank all the time, right? He tells me when I can gank it. That's how we play. I don't know how other people play, but I I can't keep up with the wave manipulation of 3 lanes, right? So my laners tell me when it's time to gank for them, and if they don't say anything, then I'm gonna farm, right? So I don't fall behind, or I can build my lead. So and he's always, I was like, hey, can I gank your lane? Nah, I gotta. He's gonna be shoved under tower. I'm recalling, all the time. So, and then he pops off half those games anyway. I bet we probably have one of the lowest mid jungle proximities in the league.
If only we kept track of that, huh?
Yeah, if only stats didn't fucking go down.
Right. Yeah. So now looking forward to your guys' match against Pawn Sacrifice Art Knights. In your minds, who is each team's player to watch for this weekend?
From both sides or just one?
From both sides, yeah.
For theirs, it's definitely Spike. Like, does he get the pick that he wants? Is he able to do the massive damage in team fights? I think I've seen him play Anivia, Vigar, a couple of times, and he looks pretty solid on both, especially Anivia. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's just gonna see how much damage can he do, or does he die first, right? Or can we focus him down to how's his positioning? I think his positioning might determine the game,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because obviously he's their big threat, and we're gonna be on top of him. For us, I think it's probably going to be Zyrox, right?
Oh.
Because Banana draws a lot of attention,
Hmm.
right? And then we've already talked about every role can carry, and with the big two AD carries right now with Lucian and Misfortune, like do you ban both of those against us so he doesn't get a great AD carry right now, or do you leave Yon Syndra open and whoever else he may play? I think Zyrox can carry a game, especially if you leave him alone.
He's a threat, to be sure. I would agree with
He's a
everything
monster.
Terry just said. Yeah.
So, Banana, before you answer the same question, you mentioned Nivea a couple times, Theatious. Banana, Nivea doesn't really fight you that much, so you might get a little frustrated there. But go ahead. What's your thoughts?
It depends. If I'm playing against the Nivea, I would say it depends on who I get into it. If I get
Okay.
someone where I just wanna farm into a Nivea, then I'll be happy. I won't be super. I like fighting. I do. But I'll take it. I always want to put myself into some sort of matchup where I can see my win condition, whether that's
Okay.
farming or whether that's looking for a solo kill at a certain time, or whether that's applying a lot of pressure throughout the lane the whole time. That's always what I'm looking for. So, and Anivia is one of those champions where I think you have to play her pretty well. A mobile mage and can get punished very heavily if she gets behind. So, I would feel comfortable playing. I don't know. It just depends on what our comp's going on. I would love to play the Yone into her. I'd love to play the Syndra into her, and uh, any other sort of pick that I think I would be able to see my win condition. As for the biggest threats on either team, I'd agree with Terry. I think their jungler is just is really scary, and someone that I definitely need to respect in laning phase. Because there's definitely been games where I've gotten behind due to ganks, and I manage to usually stay even, but it's hard for me to kind of push a lead, or it's hard for me to kind of impact the map in other places. For our team, I think it's, I agree with Terry, that's Zyrox. I think he is a force to be reckoned with, and can be very, very scary when ahead. He's excellent at snowballing games.
All right. It's nice to see a little bit of agreement. Um, and continuing on with the matchup, I don't. Well, actually, no, it hasn't been posted yet. So, the current jungler for Pawn Sacrifice was Momo, and you just mentioned him, right, Banana? And obviously, with the interview not being posted yet, I got a little bit of inside knowledge. But with Big Buddha possibly going to be playing this weekend if his schedule lines up correctly, does that change your mind about their team at all in terms of where their strengths might lie or what kind of lane they might play around?
Um, no,
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
not really. No.
No, I mean we're gonna treat them the same.
Yeah.
We're gonna play our game. That's what we try to always do. We just try to play our game. If we have a consistent win condition, that's what we're gonna go for. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're behind 20 kills or if we're up 20. We're just gonna do what we said we were gonna do beforehand. Uh, we don't like to throw away our plan ever. So.
All right. Well, last official question I got for you guys. Excluding yourselves again, if you had to choose one team that actually wins finals this season, who do you think it'll be and why?
If I exclude us,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with just because I'm gonna take Game 3 out of that small sample size versus Genesis, and I'm gonna talk about Lone being ahead, right? And when he gets ahead, especially when people are giving him his comfort picks, such as Yone or I really don't know what else he plays.
Vigar.
So, well, his Lux is pretty good too. Like,
True.
I mean, he'll roam Lux just to R, for the assist or for the goal when his waves push. And so, if he can not hard int, I think is going to be a really big force to be reckoned with. I'd like to see Zillow get a little better, or not a little better, but get a little more resources from their team because I feel like he's always on a scaling 80 carry, but doesn't get enough gold. right?
Okay.
And it's not because he can't create it for himself. It's usually just a very stale bottom lane. Like no one's ever trying to fight anybody. They're just trying to farm because I guess because he's on such a scaling AD carry.
That's true. Again, before you answer, Dana, last season I remember Zillow being very different from this season. He was one of him and before Akina switched to top lane, he and Okina were like the two ADCs that I really feared as a fellow ADC player. And this season, whether because his team made him change to a different role, like you said, scaling ADC, but it just feels like Zillow just doesn't pack the same punch, so to speak. And that's no discredit to him, but a little bit more resources so that he can show what he's capable of would definitely be a noticeable difference going into their match, obviously. So Banana, same question to you, excluding yourselves, right? Who do you think would win finals and why?
I would disagree with Terry on this one. I would think it's Team Ambition Wolves. I think when they get a lead and they're playing their game. They play as this cohesive unit, and it is hard to break through them and split them up and disorient them in a game. Um, it's when our last game against them, we kept trying to find opportunities, punishes, trying to find them overextend or anything like that, and they did a really good job at shutting down our carries and did a really good job at playing together. And so I think if they get leads and if they're on their game that day, they'll be able to close out games.
Absolutely, without a doubt. So, like I said, that's all the official questions I got for you guys. Do either of you have any last shout outs, praise, flame, or anything else you'd like to say?
Not besides, hey, appreciate the duo staff always being willing to answer a question quickly, especially at the beginning of the season when I was super new to it. Everything you had to do in order to play in this league, I didn't think it was actually that much. All my teammates, obviously, for sticking it out because this was my hopeful thing, right? This is what I wanted to do always, right? Because I've been a fan of gaming for a long time. I'm an old fella god, now. So back when I was young, we didn't have shit like this, right? So it's kind of awesome to know that my daughter's gonna grow up, where if she wants to do this, she can, right? And she's only 3, but she's already got a passion for technology. So I'm hoping it leads to gaming, but we'll see. And no, we're gonna 2-0 PSA, and then we're gonna 3-0 the finals. That's all I want to say.
Oh, all right. I like it. I
We're
like
gonna
it.
keep this streak going.
Oh, wait, no, please, no.
Nah, no, I was just talking some shit, man. I
Yeah,
actually
I
think
know.
PSA, there's a world where they can take a game off of us, but I feel like we're stronger in every role. And if I had to match us up against EH and TAW, I really think it could go either way.
All right. What about you, man? Any last words?
Um, Similar to Terry, I really appreciated the opportunity. It's been really fun playing in duo. I love my team. Uh, it's been a roller coaster of ups and downs, but we've always kept it together, and that's been just so much fun. Uh, I I wish all the teams the best of luck, and I genuinely hope that we beat everyone at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys both for joining me. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules and especially this late at night. Once again, this has been Theatious and Banana Slum, the jungler and mid laner of average on a good day, respectively. And I've been Bigblackrainbows. This has been the semifinals edition of Playoff Profiles, and we will catch you guys next time.